Good afternoon, everyone. If you'll take your seat, we'll get started in just 1 minute. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Skylar Beltran, and I am the chair of the Utah County Commission this year. And welcome to our State of the County. We appreciate you taking the time to come out and spend an hour with us and hear about all the good things going on and the best place to live, in my opinion. So we will begin today with an opening prayer by State Senator Heidi Baldry, and then we will rise after the prayer for the honor guard from the Utah County Sheriff's Office. So Senator Baldry. She is missing. Okay, let's switch. Where's State Rep Lisa Shepard? Well, we're gonna do a quick switch. Okay. Perfect. We'll give it just a second. Or we have a volunteer. Somebody else come do it. Perfect. Ezra. County Administrator Ezra Nair will come give the prayer.
Our Father in heaven, we're so honored to be here today to review the state of the county and celebrate all of the wonderful things that have happened in the past year. We're so grateful for all of our partners and government, nonprofit, and business that have come together to help support the families and citizens of the county. We are so grateful for the freedoms that we enjoy in this country and this great state, and we pray that we can remember those, especially in this 250th year of the anniversary of our country, and we pray that that will continue to watch over us and protect us and guide us, and we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay, thank you, Ezra. And if we will all rise for the honor guard.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Round of applause for that. That was very good. Thank you, Elijah, very much. We will now watch our destination marketing video by Explore Utah Valley. It's an emotional one for me, so I hope you feel proud of where you live and excited to live in such an amazing place. So we will watch that, and then we will get started with the program.
Legend says there's a place not far from here where you can hear the seasons change. Where earth and people collide together in perfect harmony. A place where one season blends into another, creating a perfect canvas for adventure. A haven for those who refuse to grow old. A place you can fly, set sail, and touch the sky. A destination where lifelong friendships are forged. People coming together from all ages, experiences, and walks of life. Welcome to one of the most magical places on earth. I call it home.
Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb now? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sand pit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sidemen. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever. Forever young, I want
Now, was that video awesome or what? So we will now do our awards. So we'll hear from Commissioner Gordon first on Business of the Year, and then followed by Commissioner Powers Gardner on Organization of the Year, and then I will conclude with Person of the Year. So Commissioner Gordon.
Thank you, Commissioner Beltran. It's my honor to present the award for Business of the Year. One of my favorite conversation starters is to ask people, how many generations are you from the farm? So if you're sitting here today thinking, how many generations are you from the farm? I don't know how many of us can sit here and say, we're still farming it, right? We're still doing it. And we're so proud to honor one of our neighbors from Springville, the Harwards. Judd and Marcia are here with Jake and one of his assistants, Kelly. Jake's wife, Sarah, couldn't be here, but they, since 1945, have been doing it in Springville. If you didn't know, they have agritourism. They've got a fun farm there. They've got the corn stands that you've seen all around Utah County and even down as far as Snow College and up in Salt Lake Valley. Their produce is making it to dinner tables every day. We rub shoulders with them from our family farm. Couldn't be more grateful to have shared ideas, success stories, and I always think when my dad's gone and when guys like Judd are gone, we're in trouble. There's so much knowledge in those heads, and Jake's just lucky enough to continue to have his father for all that knowledge. One of the other things that they do, in Spanish Fork had a program where they would bring the fellows, and the fellows were people from other countries, and they were coming here for a few weeks to learn about how we farm and do certain things, and Judd and Marcia would house these fellows. My grandparents did the same thing, and they would see how the farming operations took place, and I always watched Judd and Marcia always welcome the fellows into their home and show them how they operate their farm. So without further ado, I couldn't be more grateful to present to you our Business of the Year, Harward Farms. Jake. Do you want us over here, Skylar, for a picture? Okay. All right. Come over here. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll just say thank you, and it's an honor for a farm to be recognized as the Business of the Year. It's not very often that happens, but like Brandon said, we've been around since 1945, and we don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So we hope to continue to serve the community here with our produce and our agritourism, pumpkin patch, and as well as farm field days that we do for a lot of your kids in the county, and we enjoy doing that. We enjoy being part of Utah County. Just like the video showed, it's a great place to live, and we love it here. So thank you very much. I don't know if you had anything, but we appreciate it.
It's really a true honor to be recognized as the Farmer of the Year. You know, with the changes that's going on in Utah County, our one slogan is, it's not Grandpa's farm anymore. Things are changing. And people always ask us, how much longer are you going to keep farming? How much longer are you going to keep farming? We just come back with this statement, we're going to be the last ones out of town. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
I am lucky enough to get to present to you the Organization of the Year. This is actually the first time we've done an Organization of the Year. We've always done a Business of the Year and a Person of the Year. And we wanted to make sure that we had an organization. We've got so many amazing organizations that serve our community. We really, more so than anywhere else, you know, our community comes together and serves one another. And this organization, it's Thanksgiving Point, and the origin of Thanksgiving Point really is at the heart of why our community is so amazing. Thanksgiving Point started as a Valentine's Day gift. As a Valentine's Day gift from the Ashton family. Really, it was presented as a Valentine's Day gift from a husband to a wife, but what she wanted was to serve the community, and so they donated Thanksgiving Point as a nonprofit to our community. And that nonprofit today has over 150,000 entries every year of children whose families are on WIC and SNAP benefits, meaning that these families would not be able to afford their services, and they let them in for free because they want to make sure that every child has the opportunity. So for decades, Thanksgiving Point has created a place where families gather, children discover, and community connects through education and innovation. The gardens, museums, and programs inspire curiosity and lifelong learning while also contributing meaningfully to the economic vitality and identity of Utah County. If you run the economic numbers of Utah County, it is Thanksgiving Point is at the top of what is our economic impact every year. Just as important, their leadership has worked deliberately to ensure that all children have the opportunity to participate in these educational experiences. Studies show that the earlier a student learns about STEM, the more likely they are to have a career in STEM. And studies also show that usually those opportunities go to kids whose families are wealthy. Thanksgiving Point makes sure that all students, all children in our county have the opportunity to experience farming and STEM and curiosity. We are grateful for the leadership that continues to strengthen this remarkable institution. Today we have two remarkable men from Thanksgiving Point to accept this award. Brent Lang and McKay Christensen are here today to accept this well-deserved recognition on behalf of Thanksgiving Point.
On behalf of our 850 employees, we just want to say thank you to Commissioner Gordon, Commissioner Beltran, Commissioner Powers-Gardner. We are well led in Utah County. Our commissioners and their staff and all who serve us here take an interest in what we do, in our needs, in helping those, and being real servants in how you lead. So we want you to know how much we appreciate your great example and all that you do for us here in Utah County. And we're more than thrilled to accept this award on behalf of all of the employees at Thanksgiving Point and those we serve. Thank you very much.
So Utah County is so awesome. We have two people of the year. And they're awesome. So first is Jim Evans. And Jim needs no introduction because he's amazing. He has been serving this county for many, many decades. Orem City, Alpine School District first, Orem City Council, Orem Mayor, Transportation Commissioner right now. He's one of the big dogs for us on road construction, and they're delivering great things, and Jim's very influential in that. The Freedom Festival, what we all love and enjoy every 4th of July, it's, you know, all year event, but 4th of July especially, no better place to be than right here in Provo. And Jim is a significant part of that as executive director. And what I love most about Jim, he's a quiet, go do it, doesn't need any recognition, is not in the spotlight. And that's what just epitomizes Utah County. We have so many amazing people who work, do not get any credit, any recognition. They don't seek it. And Jim is a great example of that. So please give a warm welcome to Jim Evans, Person of the Year. There's that for you. And just give us a little word. Yeah.
It'll be a little word. He's going to keep that recording for my funeral one day, and then we don't have to have anybody else talk. No. The only reason I agreed to accept this is because I feel I'm just standing in for the thousands and thousands of volunteers in this community. I mean, case in point, our Freedom Festival, which I've been with for about 7 years, it happened, people said, what's your big staff now that you're working at the Freedom Festival? 2 of us. It's done by these 30 events by thousands and thousands of volunteers that make it happen here at America's Freedom Festival in Provo, so it's an honor. I think back to way back when, and when I was maybe a little smarter, had more hair, and I was gray, back in the 80s, and on the city council. And my wife has taught kindergarten for many, many years, and I thought she's doing something of value. I gotta go find something to do, and so I was lucky enough to serve on city council. Ever since that time, our little daughter, Karna, would say, she'd see me dressed up with a tie and shirt and say, Daddy, go to meeting. It pretty much, she knew me, I was going out to do something, and so I've just, and the other thing about serving, it blesses me more than I think the community. Think, when you get to do some of these things, of the thousands and thousands of people you get to meet and interact with, it just makes me a better person. So we're grateful, Tana and I couldn't do this without Tana. We'll come take the picture with us, Tana, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you so very much. So.
And our next is a familiar face, Kalani Sitake, and I will try and take my Cougar fan hat off because football is a very big part of his life, of course, and all of ours, and we have many Cougar fans in here. I know Attorney Jeff and Commissioner Gordon, Paul, Patrick Guaro, wherever you are. Ezra, BYU is an everyday part of our lives, so that's outside of today's award. But Coach Sitake, first I'll talk about the football side. What BYU football means to this community is immeasurable. In a financial, economic impact, they are a driver for this community. The education, the football, all of it is so important to the economic vitality of our valley. And so we greatly appreciate that. And their success has led to that just exponentially increasing every single year. And they have put us on the map. So we appreciate that. But Coach Sitake as a person epitomizes this valley. He's at the spotlight. I mean, imagine going to a restaurant and being harassed, and there's Coach, and that's not him. That's not his style at all. And he always says humble and hungry. And we as a county always are hungry to strive to do better, and we're humble. This is a community that is very humble. And we like to serve, and he believes that. He instills that in the football team. That's not everywhere. There's other communities with Ferraris out front of the practice facility and you know, all these crazy news articles and all these things, Kalani instills being great men, great people. And so, you know, to give this award to him, he is so well deserving of this. And I knew so. We were at a meeting in December, our tourism tax advisory, and there was a chance we were going to lose him, as everybody knows. And we all learned about Kalshi that day. And Kalshi, we're in this meeting, and everyone's tweeting, Kalshi is 78%, Coach Sitake is leaving. And we all looked at each other, no, this is not really happening. And thankfully it did not, and that week it wrapped up, I think Wednesday or Thursday, and we all had a sense of relief. So, you know, the community rallied around him for those 2 days. Twitter was a positive energy. That's not everywhere. And so I am glad to give Coach Kalani Sitake the second Person of the Year.
All right, just take a minute to just express my gratitude and appreciation, and it's an honor to be here and to be considered Person of the Year, and honestly to do it with Jim and Tana is awesome, and so the Evans family's been amazing, and I'm an oldie, so things like Thanksgiving Point and Harvard Farms have always been something that means something to me. Seeing the video, I got kind of emotional because this place means so much, and just, you know, just I'm so old that I've seen a lot of crazy things happen. I'm old enough to see when UVCC was a community college, and then it grew to UVSC, and then it grew to the largest university in the state. And I watched as I think Provo had maybe 5 stoplights. I could probably name all the intersections that they were at. I knew all the speed traps when I was driving on where to avoid. And I recognize all the people and hard work and effort that goes into making this place a beautiful and loving home, and that's the entire county and everyone that does all the work, whether it's in the Justice Department or those in government, and everyone just volunteers and just puts so much effort into this place. And so I am actually the benefactor of that. And so when I grew up, I was in Laie, Hawaii, which is in the North Shore, which is a beautiful place. And when you know, my parents divorced and separated, I moved all over the place, different states, different cities, from LA to Oakland to San Francisco to Dallas to Florida. And my dad decided to settle and start here in Provo. And we lived here in Utah County. And Utah County is kind of where we got a new start, brand new start in life for a young single father to take care of me and my siblings. And so it was this place that actually, and it happened to be 1984. And so I think it was just like I helped win the national championship when I was 9 years old, because those are all my prayers. And so I need to focus my prayers this year and you know, last year and things like that. But through that time, I didn't realize how special home really was until I actually left the county, and I took a lot of things for granted here. Even my university and the program that I get to play for, and the people that I got to be around, specifically Lavelle Edwards and his wife Patty. And so when that unique moment that you were mentioning in December, I'm human, so you know, things, I mean, I have a lot of faults, and one of them is listening to people tell me how great it would be in other places and how you could be given so many resources, and start thinking about it. And you know, news started to break, and it got kind of crazy. And when I got tons of phone calls, but I went into the office the next day after kind of like the rumor started, and there's Patty Edwards sitting in my office and just had another chair pulled up really close to where she was sitting, and she said, "Come here, sweetheart, and have a seat." Immediately I sat down, and we were knee to knee and eye to eye, and she expressed to me how much she loved this place, and how she started talking about legacy and talk about Lavelle, and it's just kind of what I needed to hear. And so we have everything here. It's the #1 economy in the country. We have amazing people from all different ethnicities and diversity. And when I first moved here, we had one ward that was a Polynesian ward in the entire county. Everyone from Lehigh to Payson drove to this Sunset building in East Bay, Provo. And that one ward, years later now, currently is 3 stakes, Polynesian stakes. The first Fijian ward, and so the Fijian and Tongan wards, it was the first Fijian ward in the continental U.S. And I started realizing that Patty's right, and sometimes we all just need reminders of what home truly is and how special this place is. And so I'll never take it for granted, and I appreciate it. I thank you for the opportunity for me to be the Grand Marshal in the parade last year. It was awesome. My shoulders are still trying to recover from it. All the waving, it's a little, people don't realize how hard that is, but it's hours of this, guys, you know. And you know me, I'm gonna dance and do whatever I can to keep the fans happy. But I know it's taking too much time, but I just want to just say that thank you for all your hard work, and there's so many unsung heroes that are here and put so much effort into making this county, and the people that live here, they may not realize it, even like me when I grew up here, but eventually it'll happen, and then they'll be able to rely on the legacy. The proudest moment that I have is that I am an American citizen. I love the Stars and Stripes. I love this country. I love what it stands for. So if we can keep that that mindset, and that no matter who comes into our county, that we're focused on this is our country, and then we need to support the leaders of this country and the justice system and everything that goes into the government. And so I appreciate all the hard work that you guys put forward. And so we can remember that and remember our family, and then just it's a great place where you can, no matter what your faith is, you can exercise it. And so I can freely say that I am grateful that I get to be a disciple of Christ, and that I get to try to help others, and that I've been raised by an amazing village, Utah County. So thank you very much. I love you guys.
Okay, next we will have a video from our state and federal delegation really quick, and then we'll hear from all 3 commissioners, and then you're all done.
I've been asked to give a brief statement about why I love Utah County, and it's the people. I've chosen to live here and raise my family here, to exercise my profession here, and I'm really grateful to be amongst such outstanding people. They're intelligent, they're kind, they're smart, they're capable, and they work hard to take care of their families. So thank you for allowing me to share my family with your family and living in Utah County for my adult life. And God bless Utah County, the state of Utah, and God bless America.
Utah County holds a special place in my heart. As the entrepreneurial heartbeat of Utah, Utah County is vital to our state's overall prosperity. Communities in Utah County continue to be some of the best places to live and raise a family. The county has excellent local leadership and is poised to power Utah's continued growth.
Since I was 1 year old, Utah County has been my home base. It's where my family moved in 1972 when I was barely a year old. And I've been proud to call Utah County home ever since then. Even while I've lived outside the state, at times I've always come back to Utah County, and it's the best place in the world to raise a family, to grow up, to start a business, or do whatever life calls you to do. It's a beautiful place. It's big enough that there are all kinds of opportunities, and it's small enough that everybody still knows everybody else. It's the kind of place where you can get to know your neighbors because they're friendly. They look out for each other. So grateful to call Utah County home. I can think of no better place in America to live, to raise a family, to start a business, or do just about anything else. I'm so glad it's my home.
Well, hello to all the fans of Utah County. I hope I'm the #1 fan. It is great for many reasons, but perhaps the best is just what a wonderful place to raise a family, to have a business, to recreate, and do so many things that we enjoy at Utah County.
Well, there's so many things about Utah County that are special, but more than anything, it's the people. I love so many of the people that I interact with that serve there, that give back to their communities, that live there, and make Utah a better place.
Coach, it was cool. As soon as we got this job, I was informed by Commissioner Gardner that was here. She says, "Hey, sometimes we get to go to the games," and we were at Kansas State in the president's box. Amelia got a little out of control up there during that game. We haven't been invited back because there was a lack of reverence that game. But anyway. Super fond memories for sure. And I bring that up because I think about the team atmosphere that we have at Utah County, and your teammates come and go, and they change all the time. And the other night I had a vision, I had a dream about Governor Goldie Cox. If you'll follow me, it sounds really weird, but since I became a grandpa, I've been telling these stories to my grandkids about Goldilocks and the three bears, right? And if you know the three bears story, she goes in and one's too hot, one's too cold, and one's just right. And on any given day, the three commissioners can be any one of those three things, okay? So we bring balance to each other, and I was thinking about that the other day, some of the phone calls that I get late at night from my other two teammates, and it's, you know, sometimes you're the voice that brings them down, and sometimes you're the one that escalates them, and so I know Tobin's the only spouse that's here, but thank you to Kylie and Tobin for, you know, indulging those phone calls and the ups and downs and the anger and the all of the that comes with it. So as I give my last state of the county, I can't be more grateful for those that I serve alongside with, elected and non-elected. Here at Utah County. It's service. I look at it as service. I know we get paid to do our job, but I just think of, you know, the different dynamics and backgrounds, and I think it's a wonderful system that our founding fathers created. You know, I'm asked why I didn't run again, and I was telling the Harwards at lunch, I think when the founding fathers created this country, there was a badge of honor to get back to the farm after you served your 4 years, and I'm going to take that today and tell you that I'm going to get back to the farm. So I'm proud of what we've done, and we've still got some time left. So this last year's been amazing, and I'll never forget a day in September. I was in Spanish Fork down at the fairgrounds, and we were partnering with Jenny Taylor, the widow of fallen officer Brent Taylor, who paid the ultimate sacrifice with his life while serving in the military. We had a mobile museum set up in Spanish Fork to teach young children who didn't experience 9/11 what it was. And this is how Jenny gives back after losing her husband, who joined the military after 9/11. Our deputies and the SWAT team were called to UVU as news came in that Charlie Kirk had been shot. Let's say that day my porridge was very hot, and then it was cold, and in the whole analogy that I gave earlier, it's like the emotions, right, up and down, and it just never felt right. I never got the just right porridge that day. Phone calls with my fellow commissioners and tears shed and emotions running high. I was so grateful for our first responders that worked together during such a tragic time. I spoke with a UVU student a couple days ago that was there that day and still lives that day over and over again in his mind, being sheltered in place in his dorm with so much chaos taking place that day. He still works through the process of the events that took place, and I am ever grateful for the leadership of Sheriff Smith and Jeff Gray and so many others that worked tirelessly to bring in a suspect into custody so quickly. Utah County is forever changed because of the events last September at UVU. And like many tragedies, I watched so many people come together and express love for their neighbors and families. Erica Kirk and and her family and many others that were affected that day. One of my assignments over the last few years that I took over for Commissioner Sakovic has been the Warming Center with the homelessness efforts, and I see many of our partners here today, and I'm so grateful for them. This last winter we had 2 expecting mothers that were homeless, something we didn't know what to do, and it was interesting to sit around the table and watch our professionals help to say, okay, this is how we help get these babies in a good place, as they obviously can't be on the streets. We combined 3 different warming centers into one at our Public Works building. This created some consistency in that location, added full-time security and bag searches, and that added a level of security to the center. This is our last week, and I'm happy to report it's been a successful season, and I can't express enough gratitude to Public Works and then the many partners here in Utah County that volunteer and make this such a successful winter. I also sit on the North Point Solid Waste District. We're working on upgrades at the Linden Transfer Station facility, make your life easier when getting rid of your garbage. We welcomed 12 new mayors in Utah County this last election cycle and invited them all to our offices in January to sit around the table and understand their priorities and ours and make sure they knew that we were a resource for them. Every commissioner, Gordon, needs his Batman and Robin. And my portfolio assignments, like as I'm looking around the room, I see Kim and Carrie, it's like Batman and Robin. I see Richard and Glenn, like Batman and Robin. Anthony's not here, but I see Travis. Oh, he is here over there. Batman's over here, and Robin's, whichever, however you want to have it. During the pledge, I looked over and saw Under Sheriff Buffton, and I thought, that's Lex Luthor. So you don't pick on the biggest guy in the room, but I did today, because it's, what are you going to do, fire me? So it's been a blast. My portfolios, I've really enjoyed getting to know them, rubbing shoulders. They know they can call me when they need help, and likewise. They're so helpful. I invite you to look in the book to see what all the good things that they've been doing. I'll just touch on a few. Worked with Bryce Armstrong and his department to cut acreage requirements in half for a landowner to qualify for ag protection. So 1,448 acres entered into ag protection and many more on the books. We want the farmers to farm as long as they want to farm. We want to protect their private property rights and as pressures, as Judd Harward mentioned, of development moving in from your cities. Remember, the county's not in the business of growth. We don't do growth. Cities do the growth, right? And so we do what we do well, and we strive to help preserve as much of that ag land as we can. I've been very proud of that. When Sheriff Smith asked us to consider a 287G agreement with ICE last July, we didn't need to take public comment during our commission meeting, but we did. After hours of listening to the public, we agreed as a commission it was the correct action. And last Friday, I was visiting with a business owner here in Provo, immigrant, and he said, quote, I follow the law to get here, and all we ask is that others abide by the same rules, close quote. Sheriff Smith and his team have added pressures at the jail as we deal with more violent criminals, and adding resources to help him with the challenges there as we see more and more substance abuse and mental health has been a priority for ours, and we are very grateful for him and all of his team, whether it's jails, at the jail, the SWAT team, bailiffs in the court, search and rescue, wildland fire, everywhere in between. So grateful for our public servants in public safety. Thank you. Public Works has been an amazing team, helping from buildings and road maintenance, weed control, and as I mentioned earlier, taking phone calls in the middle of the night for the warming center. Makes it such huge help, so couldn't be more grateful. Anthony Canto should receive props. Him and his team helped us. We had for decades, we've had a boundary dispute. If there's a few homes in Santaquin that if you are in your family room, you're in Juab County, and if you're in your kitchen, you're in Utah County. And this is another example of Amelia went in too hot, Brandon went in too cold, and Ezra came in just right. So with Anthony's help drawing up plans, we think we've got a deal with Juab County. I know I'm sounding like Donald Trump right now. It's a good deal. We've got it. Thank you, Skylar, and everything, but we struck a really good balance there. And thank you, Anthony, for all your help there. That was a long time coming. Kim Jackson and his team continue to help collect taxes, receive And I'm grateful for his monthly reporting and everything they do on the accounts, the sacred funds that we keep as the county. Lastly, we use our platform to hold fundraising events for the Children's Justice Center and Giant Steps Autistic Preschool, a partnership with Wasatch Behavioral Health, and I appreciate my policy advisor, Nicole Neer, and her efforts in making sure those events grow every year and are meaningful. Commissioner Cupp has generated over $50,000 for the autistic preschool to be able to do some of the field trips that they otherwise wouldn't be able to do. So thank you, Nicole, and everybody else that helps us there. Finally, as a commissioner, I am happy to report that the state of Utah County is great and that roughly our 1,300 employees are the reason. I'm lucky to work alongside so many wonderful employees who do good, and they do go above and beyond, and I sincerely thank Utah County employees and their families that support them in their duties. As I close out my time as Commissioner Gordon, the bat signal will still shine bright with new leadership and new perspectives, and I will be happy to get back to the farm as many elected officials, as I said earlier. I will see you at the county fair this summer and other events as we welcome you to continue to engage. We ask you to engage with us with ideas and criticism. That's what makes us better. May God bless the great state of Utah and the best county to live, work, and raise a family, Utah County. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you everyone for being here. It is a privilege to stand before you in my final year serving the people of Utah County and reflect on the work being done every single day by the remarkable employees that keep this county running. Public service has been one of the greatest honors of my life, and it has been deeply meaningful to serve in the community that I was raised and that I will always call home. Over the past 7 years, I've had a front row seat to the professionalism, the dedication, and the quiet excellence of the people who work for Utah County. They are the reason that this organization succeeds. This year carries a special significance as our nation approaches the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. For 2.5 centuries, America has stood as the great bastion of freedom, the greatest bastion that the world has ever known, a place where liberty, opportunity, and self-government have allowed generations to build better lives for their families. That history is personal to me. One of my ancestors, William Brewster, came to America on the Mayflower, seeking the freedom to worship and live according to his conscience. My family story continues through the generations, from those early settlers to the pioneers who crossed the plains to build a community right here in Utah County, where my 7th great-grandpa lived in his covered wagon in Fort Pleasant Grove. I am proud to be part of the heritage. I learn about that heritage through descendants of the Mayflower, daughters of the American Revolution, and daughters of the Utah pioneers. And every time I hear one of these stories, it reminds me that the freedoms that we enjoy today are not inevitable. They were built, protected, and passed forward by ordinary people who do extraordinary things for the future of their families and for our country. President Ronald Reagan once said, "Freedom is not the sole prerogative of a chosen few. It is the universal right of all God's children." That idea has always defined the American experiment. That freedom is not reserved for the powerful, but secured through the daily work of citizens who are willing to build the institutions, strengthen the communities, and serve something larger than themselves. In many ways, that same principle guides the work of Utah County and our local government. In that spirit of stewardship today, I'd like to recognize several of the county departments within my portfolio and highlight the important work that they do and that they have accomplished in 2025 serving the people of Utah County. These departments represent hundreds of employees whose work often happens behind the scenes, but whose efforts make the real difference in the daily lives of all of our residents. Utah County is one of the fastest growing regions in the country, and the systems that we build today will determine how well we serve the families who will call this community home for generations to come. First, I'd like to recognize our Information Systems Department. led by Batman Patrick Warrow and Robin James Longhurst. This team works largely behind the scenes, but the technology that they manage powers nearly every single service that our county provides. I've seen firsthand how long hours and careful work that go into keeping these systems running. When everything works seamlessly, it's because this team has done their job well. This year, they implemented new AI tools that streamline workflows and save thousands of staff hours, allowing employees to spend more time serving residents while reducing operational costs for taxpayers. They also launched an AI-powered website assistant that improved the search tools so that residents can find information faster and get answers more easily 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At the same time, the county made important investments in cybersecurity, led by Brandon Wong, strengthening protections and monitoring systems to ensure that county operations and sensitive citizen data remain secure. Finally, the team modernized infrastructure across the county while maintaining near-perfect reliability for critical systems. It's a great example of how thoughtful investment in technology helps government run more efficiently while delivering better services to the public. Next, the Utah County Health Department, led by Eric Edwards and Tyler Pugh. Over the past several years, this team has done the difficult work of stabilizing their finances. This year, they are proud to say that we are running a functionally balanced budget in that department, something that required discipline, transparency, and a willingness to make hard decisions. I know that that work wasn't easy, and I want to recognize all of the employees who stayed committed to that process to ensure that that department could continue serving our community while balancing their budget. We also implemented a separate health department tax levy, and this will improve the long-term accountability and ensure that the public has a clearer visibility to exactly how their critical services are funded. Programs like WIC help thousands of residents access healthy food, nutrition education, and support for young families. Mosquito abatement monitors and treats thousands of acres each year to prevent the spread of West Nile virus and ensure that we can enjoy the outdoors 12 months a year. And environmental health teams conduct food safety inspections, protect the public from health risks in our community. But most importantly, none of this work happens without the dedicated employees of the health department who serve our community every single day. Another department that deserves recognition is our Human Services Division. When we talk about county government, we often focus on budgets, infrastructure, and programs, but the truth is, none of that happens without the incredible employees of Utah County. Human Resources is truly the backbone of our organization. We are lucky to have one of the best in the business. Truly, Ralph Barnes is one of the best HR managers that I have ever worked with. They recruit talented people, support our employees, and help our workforce grow and succeed. They ensure that Utah County attracts individuals who are committed to public service and dedicated to serving our residents. They also help build the culture of our organization, supporting employees, strengthening leadership, and investing in the professional growth of everyone at Utah County. Because when you take care of your employees, those employees then take better care of the public. And here in Utah County, we are fortunate to have extraordinary employees, people who show up every day, ready to serve their neighbors and make this community the best place in the world to live, work, play, and raise a family. Serving alongside these employees for the past 7 years has been one of the greatest honors of my life. I've had the privilege of watching them solve problems, support one another, and serve this community with professionalism and heart. The Auditor's Office also plays a critical role in our county government. The office oversees purchasing, budgeting, property taxes, and the financial accountability across the organization. One of the most important projects underway right now is the county's new Vault ERP. This is a once-in-a-generation modernization effort that will replace our legacy financial system and create a unified platform for financial management across the entire county. When it launches later this year, it will significantly improve efficiency, transparency, accountability, and financial reporting, while also giving departments better tools to manage their budgets and purchasing. In addition to the major efforts in the Auditor's Office achieved several important accomplishments in 2025, They received the Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Presentation Award and generated more than $1.5 million in savings through competitive purchasing processes. These efforts are helping build a stronger financial institution here at Utah County. The Recorder's Office, led by our outstanding recorder, Andrea Allen, also plays a vital role in protecting our property rights. Their work ensures that land records are accurate, searchable, and permanently maintained, preserving the chain of title for property owners across Utah County. Like many of the departments, you don't know that their work is important to you, and that's actually a good thing. The more quiet their department is, the less you know that you need them, the better job they're doing. In 2025, the Recorder's Office continued meeting all of their statutory requirements for recording and indexing documents while keeping mapping and abstract records current through strong teamwork and collaboration. They processed over 100,000 recorded documents last year and maintained a free online access to property records and protected our property rights using the Property Watch program, also free to our residents. Their commitment to accuracy, transparency, and customer service ensures that the most important records that county maintains, our land records, maintain secure and accurate. The last department that I want to highlight for you is a new one. It was the creation of our Human Services Division and the important work that they do through the ICANN program. This initiative focuses on one of the most difficult challenges that communities face, and that is breaking the cycle of intergenerational poverty and making a lasting difference to the families of our community. Rather than addressing problems one at a time, ICANN connects families to a coordinated network of services, housing supports, employment resources, food assistance, transportation, and other critical needs, helping families stabilize and move forward for long-term self-sufficiency. I've always said the best thing you can do for a hungry child is not give them a meal, it's get their mom a job. This program seeks to do just that. And the program is funded entirely through state and federal grants, allowing Utah County to bring these services together without placing any additional burden on our local taxpayers. Even in its early stages, the program is already helping families strengthen resilience, improve financial stability, and build a pathway towards independence. The systems and projects that I've talked about truly matter. But the truth is that none of them succeed without the people who show up every single day to serve the citizens of Utah County. As I close out my last year in elected service here in Utah County, I want our employees to know that my commitment to you, to the citizens, and to Utah County has not changed. I came into office determined to do work that would create a generational impact, build the systems that will last, the infrastructure that our community needs, and the opportunities that will serve this community long after one elected official is gone. That includes the work we've done to modernize county government through technology and innovation, ensuring that our systems are more transparent, more efficient, and better prepared to serve the next generation. That work is not finished. I'm fully committed to finishing 2026, completing the work we started, strengthening the foundation of this county, and ensuring that my service ends with productive and meaningful work. Utah County will always be my home. This is the place where I was raised, and it is the place that I have chosen to raise my family. Like some of the other speakers, like Coach Satake, I did not realize how amazing this place was until I left. After college, I left for 10 years, and when my oldest was turning 5 years old, I left a lucrative corporate career to come back here to Utah County to raise my family, because this truly is the best place in the world to live, work, and play, and raise a family. But long after I leave office, I will always be proud to tell people that I am from Utah County, and I am grateful the opportunity that I have had to serve this community. Thank you.
We're almost done, I know. But we have heard a lot about our employees. So if you're an employee of Utah County, will you stand up for some recognition? Those are the workhorses. They're the, you know, we get to be up here and represent them, but they're the ones doing all of this work. So thank you all. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. Like I said, we're almost done, so bear with me. Utah County had a great year in 2025, and 2026 looks even better. Every year, more families move here. You're all feeling that. More businesses invest here. More people choose to call our county home. That growth brings opportunity, but it also brings responsibility. The responsibility to keep our community safe, protect our quality of life, and make smart investments for the future. Much of county government happens behind the scenes, and I always like to say, if you don't know what the county does, then we're doing a good job. Because when we're doing something wrong, you do know about it. But the reality is the work our staff does impacts the lives of our residents every single day. From public safety and mental health services to elections, roads, protecting natural resources, and assisting some of the most vulnerable members of our community. And the truth is, the reason Utah County works so well is because of the incredible public servants that just stood up. One of the most important projects underway right now is the jail mental health unit. We know that many of the individuals who enter our justice system struggle with mental health and substance abuse. By strengthening the partnership between the Utah County Sheriff's Office and Wasatch Behavioral Health, we're working to address those issues at their core, to provide better outcomes for individuals and for our community. The willingness of Sheriff Smith to adopt mental health services is a testament to his belief in improving lives. That is not the case everywhere, but it is here. And while county government handles many challenges when it comes to mental health and substance abuse, we're fortunate to have incredible partners in the community. Our behavioral health programs are run at Wasatch Behavioral Health, and they continue delivering essential services to our most vulnerable residents under the leadership of CEO Randy Huntington, who we selected to run that organization in 2025. Meanwhile, at the Utah County Jail, staff processed more than 11,000 bookings in 2025 and recently received a perfect score on an external audit covering 120 different categories, ensuring proper inmate care, officer safety, and operational standards. So amazing job to Chief Higley and now Chief Chipman. Thank you. Our food services team at the jail also prepared more than 1 million meals last year, including 185,000 for Meals on Wheels deliveries for seniors throughout Utah County. We also launched a new food handler certification program for inmates, giving individuals the opportunity to leave incarceration with valuable skills and credentials. Staying on vulnerable populations, our homeless services also continue to improve. Under the leadership of Commissioner Gordon and through partnerships with Community Action, United Way, and Wasatch Behavioral Health, we have strengthened safety and accountability at our facility while continuing to provide resources. Our goal each winter is simple: 0 deaths due to freezing temperatures. And I'm proud that we have achieved that goal once again this year. Of course, when crime occurs, justice must follow. This past year, the Utah County Attorney's Office filed more than 5,000 cases, 16% increase over the previous year. County Attorney Jeff Gray and his team work every day to ensure that crimes are prosecuted and justice is carried out. As a commission, we have invested significantly in this office to make sure they have the tools necessary to keep our communities safe. One of the most notable convictions this year involved the defendant who tragically killed 3-year-olds Odin Ratliff and Hunter Jackson in Eagle Mountain after driving more than 120 miles per hour high on methamphetamine. He crashed into the horse corral where the boys were playing. I want to recognize prosecutors Ryan McBride and Michael Stars for their work in securing that conviction and bringing accountability to such a heartbreaking case. One of the cases like this remind us that behind every file, every report, and every courtroom proceeding are real families and real lives. Also this past year, our community experienced a tragedy many of us in this room will never forget: the assassination of Charlie Kirk right here in our community. It was a difficult day for Utah County, but it was also a powerful reminder of the dedication of our law enforcement officers, investigators, emergency responders, and prosecutors who still to this day continue to work tirelessly on that case. In another critical area of public safety and service to those who need it most, our Children's Justice Center, led by Rebecca and Heather, served more than 4,000 children and families in 2025. When federal funding for many of these centers were reduced nationwide, our commission made the decision to step forward and fully fund the center locally, showing the importance of protecting children and supporting children who are experiencing trauma. Beyond the courtroom, Utah County is working to protect and improve our natural resources. This year, our noxious weed department, led by Jake Johnson, treated over 1,400 acres of Phragmites along Utah Lake, making this past year the most successful year ever in mitigating these invasive plants. Combined with continued efforts to reduce carp and harmful algae, Utah Lake continues moving in the right direction under the leadership of Luke Peterson and the Utah Lake Authority, not only in water quality and ecology, but also recreation and accessibility. Just last month, $7.7 million of federal grants were secured for Utah Lake. Started in 2025 and continuing through 2026, we're moving forward with improvements at Bridalveil Falls, increasing safety and accessibility while protecting one of Utah County's most iconic natural landmarks. Another area that requires constant attention is traffic and transportation. Simply put, people want to spend more time at home and less time in the car, and we are responding. In North Utah County, we're seeing more than $2 billion in transportation investments from the state legislature, improving key corridors like Mountain View, Pioneer Crossing, 2100 North, and SR 73, projects that were moved up after Herculean efforts by our legislative partners. In 2025, we also completed and opened Loafer Mountain Parkway in South County, completed improvements along the Jordan River Trail for active transportation, and currently working with MAG to improve our corridor preservation program. And just last week, after nearly a year of work, we signed an agreement with UTA to bring on-demand service to Lehigh, Saratoga Springs, and Eagle Mountain, which will expand mobility, support economic opportunity, and help reduce congestion. It's a program West Provo received in 2025 to connect the Provo Airport to the Provo Frontrunner. These are major wins for our county. Finally, we have made a deliberate effort this year to invest in culture, recreation, and tourism to stimulate economic diversity through our tourism tax fund, areas that both improve quality of life and strengthen our local economy. The Provo Airport expansion is well underway, growing from 4 gates to 10, including international capabilities. This will help the Provo Airport succeed even more than the rising success in 2025, which saw over 1 million passengers to 16 nonstop destinations. In addition, we supported projects like the Ruth Theater in Pleasant Grove, Dry Creek Reservoir on the Lehigh and Highland border, Springville's Amphitheater, Vineyard's new park on the lakeshore, Spanish Fork's new competition swimming pool, and Provo's Epic Sports Park as we continue building Utah County as a destination for sports tourism through our destination marketing team, Explore Utah Valley. We've also leaned into BYU's move into the Big 12 Conference, inviting sports influencers from around the country to visit Utah County and share their experiences with audiences from partner conference schools, helping showcase our community, drive tourism, and support local business. None of these accomplishments happen without the incredible people who make county government work. I'm inspired every single day by the amazing people of this community, the quiet ones who serve people every day and impact the lives of others without recognition. To the employees of Utah County, thank you. Thank you. You have heard that from all 3 of us today. We're up here to represent you. You do the work, so thank you. Your dedication and commitment to service are what make this county run every single day. You make me proud to represent the Utah County banner wherever I go. Utah County is growing, Utah County is thriving, and Utah County is strong. Together, we will continue building a county that remains one of the best places in America to live, work, and raise a family. We are the heart of Utah. Thank you. That concludes the program, but a couple housekeeping notes. In your packet there, your little bag of goodies, there is a QR code that has the State of the County booklet And if you ever need some light reading before bed, it's like 80 or 90, where's Kaylin? 80 or 90 pages of all the great work all of your teams do. All of our county departments are highlighted in there. And there's some incredible stuff in there. So I would recommend that you, QR code and kind of go through that. But that concludes our program, and we appreciate you taking the time. Thank you, everybody. There's also plenty of food. Take some food on your way out over there on the back. Food. Over here is some challenge coins in the back as well. Take a challenge coin and some snacks.